This is Amy, and I'm doing a progressive peel on her. It's called the Go and Glow. And this is a real good starter peel for anyone who's not had much peel experience. It's also a great maintenance peel, healthy maintenance skin treatment, and it also gives the skin a nice polish by digesting the cells with the enzyme that we're using and the alpha hydroxy. Right now I'm cleansing Amy's skin with the citrus gel cleanser to remove all of the surface makeup and residue, and I'll be rinsing her skin now with the dampened gauze pads. Amy has had lots of peels. She's done a lot to her skin over the years, and it has improved tremendously. She has very, very beautiful skin, and this treatment for her is one that will just be a maintenance treatment. Just keeps the skin very freshened and healthy because of the enzymes that we're using. And some clients, if they're really sensitive, if they've not had treatments before with this and you're not certain, you might even want to hand them the fan. But Amy has had this application before and she's okay with it. It will stimulate the skin, making it a little pink. And you want to use some nice firm pressure. This is like a deeper cleanse actually for the skin as well. It'll lift any oils and lipids out of the skin, out of the pores. So you're going to be able to get a little deeper cleansing. The lactose enzyme is a cultured soured milk enzyme. It's 100% pure milk. And we're mixing with it this time and keeping it very simple. We're just mixing a little distilled water, just a little bit more. And you get it to kind of a thin caramelized consistency. And stir it up well. Comes in a dry powdered form, and so when you add your water, this activates the enzymes. Okay, now I'm going to apply this with a brush. And it should be real thin. This is not a thick mixture. It goes on the skin nice and thin and very light. You don't see it real heavy. It's almost like a little glaze. It's kind of caramelized looking. And just smooth this all over the skin. There isn't much sensation to this. There's no stinging at all. No concern about burning. It does not have to be timed. It does set on the skin for probably about 7 minutes the way we're doing it today, but the mixture just gets very tight. So actually this is a very comfortable enzyme and a comfortable part of the treatment. This is a good enzyme for rosacea skins, sensitive skins, normal, any skin that's just wanting to have a nice light polish with that digestive breakdown of cells. I use this on my skin a lot at home, in between peels and treatments. In the treatment room, the two ways that are preferable to use this is with steam for a few minutes or with a heated compress. If you were not to apply heat to this in any way, you would have to let the enzyme sit on the skin for about 20 minutes to get the maximum out of it, and that's just a lot of time. and so it's really nice to apply your heat in some way. It speeds it up for you. And we want to just use a little heat to activate this enzyme, speeding up the action. So you lay the cellophane across the face. Make sure you know whether your client is claustrophobic or not, if they're going to be comfortable with this kind of wrap on the face. I usually cover the mouth, but if somebody's a little leery of that, or they need to use the mouth as opposed to nose for breathing, then you can just leave that area open and then just kind of seal everything in. Mold it to the skin, and then we'll wrap her face in the compress. Once you get your hot compress, you want to let that steam kind of roll off. Don't have it be dripping so that you get any of the hot water on your client. Lay it on the skin easily and begin to drape it around. This is on the skin for about 3 minutes. Like I said, it's just really to activate this enzyme. The heat drives it in and gets that enzyme digesting. Don't press your compress down. It's very uncomfortable to your client when it's this hot to then lay your hands on and tie it and press it in. This enzyme is used for a lot of our treatments. I use it as a primary treatment for breaking down the skin for the French peel. But as an enzyme by itself, it's got great potential to work with in different ways for different skins. I like to mix vitamin C in it. I use the melanin suppressant to drop in it. So there's different ways to boost this enzyme to make it do more for you. So now we're going to take this off. And the skin's gotten a little pink and stimulated. And I'm going to just let this sit on the skin. Now what I want to do, the heat's activated the enzyme and got it digesting the cells. Now it needs to dry. It needs to get very tight on the face, and she'll feel like she has a real tight mask on her skin. If you were doing this with the vapor of steam, then you'd steam the skin for 3 to 5 minutes, turn your steamer off, and then let the skin sit for another 5 minutes just with the air drying it more. And to help her dry along just a little bit more, I'm going to just fan her for a moment. Okay, what we've done so far on Amy's skin is we have cleansed her with the citrus gel cleanser, prepped her with the fruit acid botanical, and now I have the lactose enzyme on her. We occluded it with the cellophane, and we did a hot wrap that we took off, and now we've let the skin get very tight and dry for about another 5 minutes, and I'm going to lift this off. And when you start to take it up, if you do the occlusion, now I said you could do this with steam if you wish, if you have that. This just speeds your time up and gives you a little more enhanced, I think, lifting once this enzyme digests the cells, because when you bring up your cellophane like this, you're actually going to be lifting off some more of those skin cells. And that's why you want to do it very slowly and carefully. If you tear it too quickly, you're going to pull the skin a little bit. And it can get really tight on here. It's not too much for Amy. But I have had it on some skins where it was extremely tight and I had to move very slowly and easily. So just keep that in mind if you use this method. Real important with this that you remove every bit of it. As with all enzymes, enzymes are proteins. They digest the cells of the stratum corneum, but they need to be removed, and if not, they're going to cause some irritation on the skin. So a real thorough removal is important. And because you can't see this one so well, once you start rinsing, you'll be able to feel it with your fingertips, and also you'll see with your gauze what is remaining on the skin. Being such a light glaze, it makes it difficult to always tell if this is on or off the skin. This has brought up a really nice, pretty glow to Amy's skin already. We call this the Go and Glow, and a lot of clients love to come in and have this treatment prior to an evening out, a special occasion. It just makes the skin look real pretty. You may occasionally have a client who is lactose intolerant, and they are not going to be able to do this enzyme because it is a natural organic product with the pure powdered milk. It would probably create a reaction for your lactose intolerant clients. Now this is just my first thorough removal of the enzyme, and I know that she's still going to have a lot left on the skin that you're not able to see. But I can go back and feel the skin, and I will feel some of the stickiness of it still being on there, and we'll go ahead and give her another rinse. This can also be done, this enzyme, prior to other treatments, other peels. You can use it prior to microdermabrasion if you wanted to break the skin down a little further before the treatment. And you can also use it with some of the other acids. Today we're going to apply the AHA gel as our acid because we're keeping this a very light, progressive peel. But you could actually increase the intensity of your peel with this just by using a stronger acid. For example, like the apple wine. Like I said, we use this with the French peel as a key part of the treatment. You could just modify that and use it with the apple wine. Okay, that feels real good. Now, Amy, do you feel any place where you're feeling a little sticky or tight, or feels pretty even to you all over? The skin looks real pretty, has a nice glow, looks real smooth. If you don't have this off and you put your alpha hydroxy on, the product that we're using next, the 25% AHA gel, the skin's going to become irritated. And you don't want that. You want this to be completely removed. Let the 25% now work into the skin to add more regeneration to the skin and continue to give it more of a healthy look and appearance. This is an acid that, although it's a lower strength and it's a blend of all of the alpha hydroxys, we've got glycolic, lactic, malic, tartaric, and citric, your 5 fruit acids. It can be a little drying to the fingertips, and so if you're using this a lot, as especially if you're doing a lot of acids treatment after treatment, it's a good idea to apply them with your gloves on. Always apply the eye pads. Now some clients may require the fan at this stage. This is a little milder enzyme or acid, fruit acid, because it's a 25% with a pH of 2.5. But some skins that are very sensitive might want the fan. Just about any of your peels and treatments that you're doing, have that fan available, and always be very conscious and aware of your client's sensations and feelings. Amy has had this many times and does well without the fan, but she knows if she needs it, all she has to do is ask for it. And we're going to leave this on her skin for 5 minutes and really let that seep into the skin and work down through those ceramides. What your alpha hydroxy does is it goes in between the cells and seeps in around and softens the ceramides, that glue-like substance that holds the skin cells together. It also has a rejuvenating effect because malic and tartaric are very firming and toning. Lactic is hydrating and moisturizing, and glycolic and lactic are both very regenerating. So you've got a lot of things going on here with the skin right now with this mixture on the skin. And I like to begin the removal at the eye area. And with all your AHAs, always remember to do very thorough removals, a couple of rinses with water. There's certain alpha hydroxy formulas, particularly our 30% glycolic, that we suggest you actually neutralize with something else besides just water. But this being 25% and a blend of all of the AHAs, it works very well just to make sure you've done enough rinses to stop the action of the alpha hydroxy. Skin feels real nice, but we do want to give you another good rinse. I think that with just about anything you put on the skin, you should always be doing at least 2 to 3 rinses. And that's why I think it's much better to use the gauze pads than sponges or something that's another color. You get a very thorough removal with these pads, but you also can see everything that's coming off the skin and feel it better. And we carried this all the way around the back of the neck area here on the earlobes into the hairline. Make sure that it's very thorough and complete. You want the skin to be dry between your layers so that whatever you're putting on the skin is not affected or diluted by the water and the moisture on the skin. This is pretty much, when we say milk mask, that's what it is. It's 90% mare's milk. It's a very organic formula, and so it has a lot of nutrition. This can be used on so many skins at various levels of peels, after laser, post micro, and I like to use it after a lot of these different progressive peels to nourish and calm the skin, because right now her skin's real absorbable. We've done a good enzyme, softening and digesting the skin with the alpha hydroxy, and so now we're putting some nutrients under her skin. And mare's milk has a very high percentage of all the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids. So you can keep this chilled, and I think that's a nice way to use it. If you don't have a refrigerator, you can always have a little cooler and just keep the ice packs in there. And after so many of these treatments where there's been a little heat sensation, this feels so good to the skin. I'm using a real soft brush that has some nice firmness to it, though. It holds the product very well, makes it possible for you to get into those real tight little areas and smooth it on evenly. Now we have two 4x4 gauze that have been chilled. And that's another thing I like to do, keep in my treatment room, ice. And I would have a baggie filled with my gauze that I would put a little distilled water on and keep in my refrigerator. So when I got to this point, I could just lay these cool gauzes on the skin, and it feels real refreshing, but also helps the skin in terms of inflammation, redness, getting the skin more calmed down. Now, a real nice touch with this treatment is to use the ice globes. Ice globes are a great finish with a lot of your peels and facials. They feel really good, and whatever is on the skin underneath, gets the benefit of the cool globes rolling over the skin. It helps further with inflammation, calming the skin, increasing circulation, which always is a good thing to do because that's where the oxygen supply is in the blood, all your nutrients, and so that brings that to the surface. And then besides that, it just feels really, really good. Your clients will love the sensation. And now we'll take off her milk mask. You can just use the same gauze. I don't like to waste anything, so you can use these at least for your first rinse. Now you can see the skin has taken in a lot of this milk mask, and that's not your typical experience with masks. And that is because this one has so high a nutrient value and is an absorbable mask. In fact, if you were to use this with a heated compress, it drives that completely into the skin, and there would hardly be anything left when you lifted your compress up. And I just mention that so that you understand and know that this is doing a lot for the skin and makes a huge difference in the outcome of your treatment. So we want to give Amy one more little rinse just to get the last little traces of this off. The skin looks real pretty. This is a pretty quick, easy little treatment to do. It is a favorite for many estheticians starting and to use as a healthy maintenance protocol. It will normally take you about 35 minutes to do this treatment. And you can extend the time if you like by doing more massage and spending a little more time doing perhaps a neck and shoulder massage. A nice light serum. You want to let the skin take this in just a little bit. before you put your sun protection on. And I'm choosing to use the SPF 30 in the tinted, and this is a titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, sun protectant. I like to use the physical blocks in general, especially after peels and acid applications. And I've chosen the tinted. It's perfect for Amy's skin. It'll give her just a little bit of coverage. This has aloe vera in it, so it's very healing for the skin. That, with the combination of zinc, makes it a really healthy sun protectant. Okay, I think we can definitely say that Amy is glowing. So she's just had the Go and Glow, and that is a progressive peel, and she won't need to do anything else to her skin. She's ready to go.
For myself, with the Rhonda Allison products, I've seen an overall change in my skin. I think myself, like most estheticians, I've got into the business because I had always dealt with problems with my skin. I've seen my acne come under control, the scarring diminish, and that alone my clients have seen the difference with my skin, and they want that difference for themselves. So it's made it easy to bring in and sell to the client. The home care, what's been nice about her products versus other products is that simply they do what they say they'll do. It's, as an esthetician and as a consumer, you find in this market that you're bombarded with product over product that doesn't deliver, and you spend hundreds of dollars only to be left with the same skin you had to begin with. And it's been a nice, refreshing surprise to have something come in that does what it says it will do, gives the results it promises, at an affordable price. You have the support behind it that you need for questions and help. Overall, it's just been a great product.